Hello there. It is Fried Rice Friday. It actually might be a little bit earlier for you guys. It might be another day during the week, but I am going to show you a cooking demo of how to make fried rice. So the first thing I'm going to have you guys do is write down the ingredients. Your ingredients are going to be 2.5 cups of cooked rice. I had cooked this yesterday and refrigerated it. You can also use these frozen packs of Trader Joe's rice, are really convenient to use. But you want to have about that much rice. You're going to have 2 eggs. So 2.5 cups of rice. You're going to write this down because this is what you're going to turn in. 2.5 cups of rice, 2 eggs. You're going to have 2 pieces of bacon. And then 2 to 3 garlic cloves. So 2 pieces of bacon, 2 to 3 garlic cloves. You're going to use about 1/4 of an onion. We're going to use a carrot, some frozen peas, and then we're going to have some oil. We're going to use about 3 tablespoons of oil, and then we're going to use, to finish it, we're going to use some sesame oil, some salt, and some garlic powder. So those are your ingredients. Do the best you can to jot down the ingredients. As I go through the recipe, you'll hear the ingredients again, but what I want you to turn into me is just like a little written summary of what I'm showing you right now. So this is what's going to happen. You are going to take a saute pan, and in that saute pan, you are going to put about 3 tablespoons of oil. The oil is what's actually going to fry the rice, and it's going to be a pan fry. It's not a deep fry. So you just want about 3 tablespoons of oil. Now, if we left it just like this, you would have fried rice, but it's not going to taste good. So you're going to need to add some things. They're called aromatics. That's going to add flavor to your oil. So what we're going to use is we're going to use 3 garlic cloves. I'm going to use 3 because 2 of them are small, but this is like a big size garlic clove, and then I'm going to use 2 smaller ones. I'm going to crush these. The way I'm going to crush them is I'm going to take a knife, and I'm going to put my fingers up, and I'm just going to go like this, just like that. And that's going to break open the garlic clove, which will make it so the garlic oils will work with the oil that you have in the pan. And I'm going to crush that a little bit more. And then I'm going to turn on the pan at about medium high. On a scale of 1 to 10, I have it on a 7 right now. That's going to give a nice garlicky flavor to your oil. Then we're going to also add some onion to the oil, and I'm going to keep them in large chunks. I'm going to use large chunks of onion, and I'm going to pull those onions out because the idea is to just give it a good flavor, not really to have a bunch of big pieces of onion in your fried rice, but that's going to give you a good base flavor. And if I cut it really, really small, the onions would burn, and then you'd have little burnt pieces of onion, and nobody's going to want that. So I'm going to get these frying. Once this starts up, I'm also going to add my 2 pieces of bacon. And the bacon is not really to have full-on pieces of bacon in your fried rice, but it's going to give the fat some flavor by having all the bacon fat just kind of blend in with the rest of the fat. So as this cooks up, I'm going to turn it up just a little bit so we can get it going. You're going to start to hear it sizzle. You're going to start to, it's going to smell really good. If normally in our class we'd have 8 kitchen groups, so it'd have all of this going. And so you just have onions, garlic, and bacon. And that's when Anthony, when Tony, the campus soup comes in, and hey, what's going on in here, guys? Well, it's because I'm cooking bacon, and he knows it. And he loves the bacon. So we get all of this going. It's cooking up. And then once you see that your bacon is cooked, then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of egg to it. But you don't want to add the egg until the bacon is cooked because you don't want to have raw pork in your fried rice. So we're cooking this up. This is called sauteing. Sauteing is when you take your spatula flat side down and you're just going to be working the pan. And Alex, if you can show them at the top what the pan looks like. You can see that I'm working the pan, not the food. And I'm trying to get all corners of the pan, and then the food will naturally sort of blend in there. So this is cooking down. I'm starting to smell it. It's smelling good. Again, the ingredients that I have in here are the oil, the bacon, the onions, and the garlic. And I think we're going to need about 2 more minutes on the bacon. I'm going to lay it flat. because the flatter that you have it, the more surface area it's going to cook, and it'll cook a little quicker that way. What you don't want to have happen though is if you start to see it turn brown, you're going to need to take those onions out, and you're going to need to take the garlic out, because when garlic turns brown, it becomes bitter, and it's not a flavor that you really want to have in your fried rice. So this looks like it's happening. It's looked like it's doing its thing. I'm going to grab a small bowl, and I'm going to crack my eggs in the bowl. You can see me crack the eggs like a boss. Watch this. What? And the eggs are going to go right in there. I'm going to toss the eggs. And then we're going to add a little bit of soy sauce, which I'm going to grab right here. We're going to add a little bit of soy sauce in the egg. That was one ingredient I forgot to tell you about, is soy sauce in the fried rice. Remember to add that in your ingredients. Now I'm seeing it's starting to cook down. The onions are starting to caramelize a little bit. So I'm going to take the onions out. Onions are out. I'm going to take the garlic out. And now I just have the cooked bacon, and I have a nice good aromatic going with the oil. And so I'm going to move the bacon to the side, because I don't want to scramble the egg in a separate pan, because that would just be a dish that I don't need to do. So I'm going to take my egg, and I am going to take a fork and just whip it a little bit. It has a little bit of soy sauce in it, and I'm going to pour it. Alex, can you show from up here? I'm going to pour it on 1/2 of the pan. So as you can see, the bacon's on one side, you've got the egg on the other, and I'm just going to scramble that egg on the side, just like that, while the bacon stays on the other side. So now the egg isn't going to taste like scrambled eggs, it's just going to taste like all soft and bacony, and it's going to be add a lot of depth of flavor to your fried rice. So as you can see, now I've got the egg and I've got the bacon. And now we're going to add our main ingredient, which is going to be the rice. So we're going to add the rice. And it's cold, so we're going to have to break it up. We're going to break it up. And you can hear it frying. The main thing is you want to make sure that the rice gets an even coating of the oil on it. You don't want some of the rice to still be like a bright white. You want to get it nice and in a nice tan color. And it also, you can tell as it gets warm, it's going to start breaking up much easier. So now you've got it going. We're sauteing it, looking good. I'm going to cut it up in little chunks. But I don't want to cut it too much, because then it's going to break the integrity of how the rice is supposed to be structured. So we've got that going. And now you basically, right here, you have fried rice. But this is just going to be fried rice without flavor. So we're going to add some flavor to that by adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Right like that is 1 tablespoon. Right like that is 2. And we're going to saute that in. You do not want to over soy sauce it. I think if any time the kids in class mess up on their fried rice, it's because they've added too much soy sauce to it. And that's a natural mistake to make, because soy sauce, you can taste it in the fried rice, and you know that soy sauce adds flavor and adds like the saltiness to it. But if you add too much, it's going to get really wet, and it's going to get not the texture that you want. So once you add the soy sauce and it still needs more flavor, then you can add some salt and some garlic powder to it. So you've got your rice just like that. I'm getting all the little pieces of the rice broken up. And then I'm going to work with my carrot. The carrot, I'm just going to take the carrot, I'm going to peel it like so with a peeler. Notice how I'm peeling away from my hand. I'm going to take the skins of the carrot and throw those away, because I won't need those. You've got your fried rice, and it looks like it's a pretty basic fried rice. We just got to soup it up a little bit. The way I'm going to soup it up is I'm going to add some salt to give some back flavor to it. Salt is not the star of the show. Salt is always going to be the enhancer You should never really notice the salt that you got, but then when you don't have it, you're like, gosh, it's missing something. And I just added some garlic powder too. So some salt, some garlic powder, and then I'm gonna add some frozen peas. Do not be scared. The frozen peas will add color. They're gonna add some nutrition to it, and I like the taste of them. So some frozen peas, probably about 1/4 of a cup. And they are going to thaw out in about 5 minutes once they make a good contact with it. And I'm gonna stir that up. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls in food and nutrition class, I am going to present to you some fried rice. Now I still have this big piece of bacon right here. So I'm gonna you could take it off and cut it, but I have some kitchen shears that I have somewhere in my kitchen, and I can't find them. So I'm gonna take it out and I'll cut it like I just said I would. So I'm gonna take out the bacon and I'm gonna slice it like so. I'm gonna add it back in. There we go. And then I'm going to finish it off. If you have at home, if you have sesame oil is fantastic. You don't fry with sesame oil, it is a finishing oil, but it's gonna add a whole depth of flavor, sort of like a nutty texture to it. So I'm gonna add just a little drizzle of sesame oil. And then I'm going to take my spatula, saute it up. And then with the carrot, I'm going to use that as a finishing. And let me show you how I'm gonna plate it. I'm gonna take a plate, like so. And hey, Julia, can you come here, please? I'm gonna make her some fried rice. You know why? Because I'm the best mom ever. Can you come here and take a taste test of my fried rice for my class? And then I've got the fried rice right here. And I'm gonna take the carrot that I just had and I'm gonna make a little carrot curls on top of it to make it look nice. If you guys haven't met Julia before, this is my daughter Julia. Say hi, Juge.
Hello.
Oh, it looks like Julia was using some makeup. Alex, you wanna zoom in on those bright pink lips we've got going on there? All right, and so now we've got our taste tester. Julia Hawk, Mom made some fried rice because I'm what?
The best mom ever.
It's true. And take a bite.
Oh gosh.
Tell me what you think. What do you think? Is it so good? All right, Julia likes it. So that's the fried rice recipe. I want you, don't spend I've talked for a long time. I just want you to summarize, what did I put in it? What were my steps? And that's really all you need to do. Do it in a Google Doc and send it to me. Hope you guys have a great Fried Rice Friday.